Thank you, Stacy. I really appreciate that really generous and kind introduction. And thank you to all of you for having me here today, and also for all of the support that you have given to our organization, no matter whether it's baking behind the scenes, coming and serving in person, hearing about us, and spreading the word about educational inequities. We're very grateful. So North Chicago Community Partners is located about 5 minutes away from here if you ever want to stop by our office. We were founded in 2008. As you know, that was a time when financially we were in crisis across the country. And we were finding that in North Chicago, the schools just did not have anywhere near the resources that they needed to give children the education that they deserved. And families were really struggling. And so our organization at first was actually trying to help other nonprofits start up in Lake County and direct resources to our neighbors here in Lake County, because so many resources were being directed to the city of Chicago, and great worthy causes there, but our neighbors right nearby who were in need were being overlooked during this time. And so when we came to do our project with the North Chicago School District, we came to the realization that it wasn't enough to just provide advice or just to provide funding, that they really needed people power. They needed volunteers, they needed staff who could really use the community school model and bring resources from around the area beyond just funding. So what we do at North Chicago Community Partners is we really look at the whole child. So we're thinking about, are they getting enough food to eat and the right nutritious foods? Do they have access to eyeglasses if they're struggling in school because they can't see the board? Do they have access to social and emotional supports, academic tutoring, mentors from the community, people who are able to expand their minds, field trips to companies, to colleges, and all of that enrichment that you typically see at schools that have more funding. And so what we do is we use folks from around the community who care to make those opportunities possible for our kids. And the timing when we met Grace United Methodist Church could not have been more perfect. We've been working with you all pretty much since the start of the pandemic. And that was a time when many of our partners, many of them stepped up and many of them stepped down. It was a time when a lot of people were afraid, staying in their homes, isolating, thinking inward, trying to focus on how can I protect myself? How can I make sure that my family is safe? Really, valuable, important questions to ask. But at Grace United, you all were asking, how can we help our broader community? How can we help our neighbors in need now more than ever? And so it was miraculous when summer school started and we were able to bring in our first volunteers in person that we had in a year. And Grace was one of our newest partners, and you all made up about a third of our volunteers for the entire summer school program. So you were small, but so mighty. I cannot even tell you, you've served over 100 times as a congregation, just in this short amount of time. It's actually in our records, it says 99 as of this morning, but I know it's more than that because there's a few things that haven't made it in there yet. And that looks like so many different things. It started with the hygiene items you all continue to collect and bring to our food pantry, which you're all welcome to make a visit to if you'd like to, located within the high school. You helped assemble drops of care for our educators who are burned out, struggling, underpaid, working really hard just to keep them encouraged and affirmed. You're all serving after school with our kiddos in the classrooms. From 3 to 5 p.m., folks are coming in and actually sitting alongside groups of students in grades K through 5 for the most part, helping them with academics and then with really just enrichment activities to help expand their minds, build resiliency, build teamwork, collaboration skills. Unfortunately, in that program, the vast majority of our classrooms on most days do not have any volunteers. So the days when you all are there in the classroom, those are the best days of the week. And we really truly need, as many people like Stacy and Lynn and others to come in and work with our kiddos. So I know that's not the right fit for every single person. You know, it's a big ask, especially during the pandemic, to come into a classroom and to sit alongside a child. But my ask of you today is, how can you spread that word outside of your congregation walls? Because as I said, small but mighty, you all are doing an unbelievable amount of work in humility and service for our organization. But who do you know outside of these walls? You know, when you go to your favorite coffee shop, can you talk to the barista about educational inequity, and perhaps they might end up being a volunteer? Do you have cousins? Are you connected with your second grade teacher who is retired and might be a great fit to volunteer with us? So what I've done is I've provided Lynn with some flyers as well as some little note cards. And my ask for you today is, when you're going to your favorite cafe or going to get your nails done or whatever you do when you go outside of your home, take one of these flyers with you and put it up. And there's tabs on there. I think there's around 8 or 10 tabs on there. You might help us get 10 more volunteers to come into our program and sit alongside the students who are really struggling and really encouraged and affirmed by your support. Right now, 30% of our kiddos are performing at 40% or above in their math and reading. So 70% of students in our grade 3, 70% of them are performing 40% or below in math and reading when it comes to their test scores. So they really need your support. We appreciate your support. And one thing I would say about you all is just the amount of grace that you've given to us as an organization is unbelievable. With many of our partners, I feel we have to, you know, we have to tie everything nicely with a beautiful bow and present, you know, this volunteer opportunity that's going to be this perfect experience. But you all have been willing to be in the mess with us, because it is messy sometimes working with kids, working in the pandemic. You all have been graceful, true, authentic partners. And so I'm just so grateful from the bottom of my heart to know you all and to put some faces to names for folks who baked behind the scenes for our teachers and helped assemble drops of care, donated hygiene items. So thank you so much. And I am looking forward to continuing to grow in partnership with all of you.